Hi, this is Sylvia from Texas. I just finished my first year of DTO, and what a wonderful year has been. It has really changed my life. We don't have a lot of Dharma to share because I'm new, but I would like to share my life story to tell you about how this first year changed my life. I was always an extremist. My dad was in the military, and my parents have 8 children. It's always yes or no in the family. There's no such thing as compromising. Obedience is a must. When when my parents say something, we just do it without any questions. There's no middle way, and that's what I want to talk about today. I grew up as a very happy child because I was very protected from everything in the world. When I get married, I didn't realize that I grew up in a very extreme environment. And I pretty much was pampered by all my siblings. I was the 6th child in the family. So all the heavy duty stuff, all my elderly siblings were doing them. And anything minor, I had 2 little ones to do for me. So I'm just kind of hanging out in the house, having fun. So I was extremely happy. My first year of marriage was a rude awakening because I became extremely unhappy because the extreme personality that I have. So I decided this wasn't for me. So I moved home to my mom's house. So my eldest brother had been practicing Buddhism for a long time. He's a very wise man. Sat me down and had one statement to say. He didn't explain much. He just said, Sylvia, I want you to think about this and decide what you want to do with your life. Nothing had to be, it doesn't matter who's right, who's wrong. It is the results that matters. And then he left. And I sat there, I was in my early 20s, and I'm like, what do you mean? No, there has to be right or wrong. There's no such thing, because that's what I grew up. So I thought about it, and I said, okay, I don't want to be a statistic. I don't want to get a divorce. So I moved back home with my husband and continued. And I listened to my brother, and everything I did was, okay, it doesn't matter who's right or wrong, just stay married, be a good wife. And I became a mother of 2 sons, be a good mother. Well, 26 years passed, and I continued to suffer. And I didn't understand why. I didn't understand what my brother said was the middle way, because I didn't understand it. I couldn't practice it. So at the end of the 26 years of marriage, I become physically ill. I mentally exhausted. I thought I gave into everything because he told me it doesn't matter who's right or wrong, just focus on the result. And what I focused on was to stay married, to be a good wife, to be a good mother. And at the end, I lost myself. There was no balance. I was extremely one way. And so the divorce happened. And again, I stayed an extreme person, not knowing that who I was. I cried every day. I couldn't work for a year. It was devastating because I kept asking myself, I've done everything I could. Why is it not working? So then after that, I read the newsletter about the DTO class for years, or not years, but during my marriage when I moved to Thailand. I just never did have time to go. So I finally decided that, you know what? I need to find peace because right now nothing works in my life. Everything is a mess. My ex moved to a different state, and my 2 children stayed with me, and we continue to have problems because I was being an extreme mom. I have so much expectation from them that it's just messed up my life. So I've learned now that being an extremist is not going to help me. Being a middle way is what will help me to stay sane. So the DTO class had taught me to be in the middle way. And I'm not sure you remember last time we met, I told you I was able to go to my backyard and look at a tree for 3 hours. And it was the most happy moment in my life. I was able to let go. I was able to let go of the guilt of being perfect, of being extreme of everything has to be perfect, and that it's okay to be in the middle. So that's what I want to share. Thank you.
Thank you, Sylvia. Any feedback for Sylvia?
Kyle here. Sylvia, thank you very much for sharing that story. One of the things in the story that really it's got me thinking about is your brother speaking to you. You know, oftentimes from my experience, and often I'm the only person in my family life of people who, you know, they say, oh, you meditate, you understand something deeper. And in the end, I feel like I give advice, which sounds exactly what your brother said. And, you know, it's important, I think, reminder for me to think that you just give what you can at the time, but then to see a result like that so profoundly affect you years and years later, where it sticks with you, and then when the timing is right, that you say you understand it's more of a middle way thing. That actually is a very happy point for me, and I'm very happy for you that when the timing was right, those seeds were still with you, and now it's being able to affect you in such a positive way. Even if you want to stare at a tree for 3 more hours, it's great. So thank you for sharing.
Thank you, Kyle.
Craig Bowian. Sylvia, thank you for your talk. That was really wonderful. I was be very fast, but staring at the tree, finding the middle way, I could sense an emotion came over me of just this, I think of what you were feeling, and it's wonderful. So I wanted to thank you for sharing that.
Thank you, Greg.
This is Dave. I'll also be very quick, but I wanted to share, Sylvia, that when you spoke about how you said to yourself, this isn't working. Why isn't this working? And you know, after the 25 years of marriage and so forth, and it was an image came to mind for me that really resonates of how sometimes we can get to that point, and we might just dig in even more and more to the thing that we think that's supposed to work. And you know, maybe it actually kind of goes back to the aimlessness piece that I mentioned before, but you know, we can become so attached to this thing that we think is supposed to work to get that result. And another alternative is to fall apart, and which of course can involve a great deal of suffering and pain. And then it's beautiful, though, if we can find the people and maybe the Dharma tools and, you know, understandings that we can grow through those processes of falling apart. And I'll just add that something that's been on my mind quite a bit recently is how there seems to be a whole lot of falling apart going on all around us right now. And one of the things that's been very powerful for me, or very, very much a strong reminder for me, is to come back to, you know, crisis is also opportunity. And I think it's attributed to the Chinese that the character for crisis actually is made up of 2 parts: danger and opportunity. And I hear quite a bit of that in what you said, Sylvia. So thank you.
Thank you, Dave.
Elena Bowenin. So Sylvia, thank you so much for sharing your personal story. I think it's very enriching. And I just want to say that, you know, the Buddha taught the Dharma to many, many different people, and he taught it at different levels according to the people's capacity that he was teaching. And for some of the arhants that are mentioned in the Dharma, I cannot even remember their names right now. They had been hearing the Dharma or the teachings for a long time, but not clicking. Nothing would, being awakened or anything. All of a sudden, one event, one flower, like in the case of Ananda, one flower would make that awakening happening. So it seems like your awakening to the Dharma happened when you were ready, when your heart was ready, receptive, and your mind was open. So it's wonderful that you were able to follow that call. Thank you.
Thank you, Lena.
And your time is up. Sorry.